How you doing, guys? Glad you could join me today. She's another warm one, 28 Celsius. So that'd be probably 86 Fahrenheit. I decided just to head her out. It's a long weekend here. I thought I'd enjoy it outdoors. Oh, when it's hot, make sure you guys stay hydrated. Drink a lot of water. Right now, I am about a two and a half hour drive south of where I live. I just went on the road and just kept driving, and then I know this little area. We used to deer hunt, so I figured, you know what, I'm gonna go for a walk and see what it looks like after 30 years of not being here. Man, is it ever grown in, I'll tell you. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But anyways, gotta drink some more water here. Oh, now that I can relax, the sun's right up in front here. I got covered with the branches. Once the sun, it's before noon right now, so once the sun gets full noon, I'll be underneath the canopy pretty good. And I got this here as a backstop, so should be no problem. There's no widowmakers. Checked all that. Very clean. Lots of maple. Lots of spruce. It's a good forest. Who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and see some deer. Lots of whitetail here. We're just going to be quiet and see if anything comes down this old trail. There was no breeze under that tarp. None whatsoever. So I just relocated, I don't know, a couple hundred feet. There's a down log here. No maple. I figured come and have a seat here, maybe get a cross breeze. She's warm. She's peaceful. She's nice and quiet. I hear an airplane, but we're a long ways from civilization, that's for sure. So anyways, reach over. Just wanted to talk to you about this here knife right here. Made in Canada. And it's actually made in Nova Scotia. Canadian knife. 5.5-inch blade. Now that is a saber grind. Nesmic style blade, yes. Got a nice curvature to it. Same with the handle. Fits nice. This car's pretty good too. So, at the beginning of the video, when I was walking in, I had to cross a nice little meadow, and in doing so, I found some of these. All right, so let me just take one out here. So there's the flower. Okay. There it is, with all the little branches holding up the flower. Now, if you look at the leaves, okay, all right. So I picked a little handful, not too much. Now, the other day I was watching a video. It was a coal cracker, and he was talking about this weed. It's the Yarrow Plant, and it's very special. It's a repellent. You can turn it into a bug repellent, and it's pretty easy. I'm going to make a video. It's going to be a short video on how to process it. But basically, you just take the plant here, cut it up into the whole thing, flower, stem, stalks, leaves, everything. You cut it up all into small pieces. You take a pickling jar or whatever type of jar, okay, and you fill it, you stuff it. Then you take 40% alcohol, vodka, odorless, tasteless, right? So that'd be a good one to get. That's the one I'm going to use. I'm going to use vodka, the cheapest on the market. But once you stuff your jar, you could take the vodka, fill up that jar right to the top. Seal her good. Keep her in a dark area. Make sure it's warm, dark. And then every few days, just keep turning it upside down every few days. Let it ferment up to 12 weeks. Then after 12 weeks, you extract all the plant. You get rid of it. I'm going to squeeze it right back in. I'm going to juice it as much as I can. And I'm going to get everything out of it that I possibly can. And then I'm going to disregard the plant matter. And all I'm going to be left with is the vodka. And all the juices that came from that plant. You put that in a little spray bottle, a little spritzer. And apparently, for mosquitoes and flies and all that, it's one of the best repellents out there. Well, you know what? My whole life I worked in the bush, worked outdoors. Well, my whole career. Over 30-something years, 35 years. And prior to that, I was always hunting, fishing, so I was always in the bush. And I see the life cycle of all the different bugs that come across. And believe me, back in the day, I used to have my muskol, and that was what, 95% DEET, very potent. And you'd have to put it on your hand, wipe your hand, and don't do over your eyes, but just do your temples, around your nose, underneath your eyes, and then come on down. Okay, then the back of your head. Don't do over your eyes, because then you'd sweat, and you know what? You're going to irritate your eyes. But we used to take our hats and just put a little bit on the brim of the hat all the way around, and a little bit on the peak, and let it dry. And that would keep it from buzzing inside here. And that was 95% DEET. And you know something? That's the only stuff that used to freaking help you in the bush against all the insects. There was a lot of off, Skin So Soft. There's all kinds of formulas out there, but it just never worked as good. It just never worked as good. And then they found out that DEET was no good for you. So what did they do? Well, they still kept on making muskol and other formulas and all that, but then they dropped it down to, where was it? They dropped it down to what? 17% DEET, 20% DEET, 25% DEET. I even got 35% DEET in some of it. Well, you know what? If DEET was that bad for you at 95%, do you really think taking it on your skin at 35%, 20% was any different? Anyways, I don't know. I used that stuff for about 15 years, 10, 15 years, 95%. You'd get carried away. So if this stuff works, I'll know if this works. And I'm going to try it. But the only thing is, 12 weeks from now, we're going to get snow on the ground. It's going to get cold. It's going to be deer season. There ain't going to be that many bugs. But I'm going to make it anyways. And I'm going to put it downstairs all the way up until spring. In spring, I'll process it. And then when the bugs are at the most, I'm going to take it out in the woods and I'm going to give it a shot. And I'll let you know if it actually works. But anyways, when you watch Cole Cracker's video on making his tincture, that's what he does. And I said, you know what? That I'm going to have to try. And I just walking in today, after I parked my vehicle and just started walking and walking and walking, I came to a field, and it was a beautiful meadow. And here you go, all over the place. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to pick some up. So I'm going to give it a go. But right now, for this knife here, stainless steel, that's sharp, man. That's a nice blade. I've been using it for a while. This is not new out of the package. I've been using it, and I'm liking it. So we're going to carve on some wood here. But first, drink of water. Yeah, I came out looking for chaga. Not too much birch here right now. The birch is a little further down, but they're all small birch. So I just took a look while I was walking, didn't see too much. So then I kept looking for mushrooms, chicken of the woods, stuff like that, chanterelles. I found some mushrooms. I just took a couple of pictures of it, but I just left it. It was only one little bunch. But yeah, so I just wanted to get out. No real big plan. If I see fatwood, I'll process some. If I see mushrooms, I'll pick some. I picked some of this. Wasn't planning on it. But anyways, I just wanted to get out. It's just, I just needed to get away from the home, get away from the heat. And it's a beautiful long weekend. I figured why not enjoy it out here. So, as far as the knife goes, got myself a little stick. And I'll just reset the camera right here a little closer. And we'll just do some carving. How's that? Make some notches, play with the knife, handle it, so you guys can see how that cuts. That's a nice knife right there. What did I pay for this? I paid $132, and that's with delivery.